He's got one job.
Good afternoon. It's Saturday. It is 1 p.m. Eastern. It is time for Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank weekend. I am one half of the NXT Night Shift, 1/3 of the IW Guide. I am Jay Gold, and joining me, the all-stars of the Main Event Wrestling Network, the Great Brown Hope. What's happening over there?
What's good, man? It's 10 in the morning over here. It's
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
And early.
See, that's the best part. Like I forget when I go on those trips to like Vegas and stuff, and I get the delays, and I can watch everything real early in the morning, then go about my day. So you get your show in about 2 hours. You get Worlds Collide, and then you get Money in the Bank at what, 4 o'clock, and then you have the whole night ahead of you.
Exactly. So it's fun. I like this little schedule they got going because now Sundays I don't have to go to sleep late and wake up early for work.
That's good.
So that works out. And
I like Saturdays. I think I'm fine with Saturdays having a pay-per-view and doing things because Sundays that we always took it as I remember as a kid going to like friends' houses and we watched every pay-per-view and as Sunday night you're like, oh man, I got to leave at 11 o'clock and go home, and wake up the next day for work or for school. That was not fun. And we are supposed to be joined by the podcast dad, but he is running late, so he'll join us somewhere along the line here. As we've said, we're trying to get to 200 subscribers on the Main Event Network. So check us out. We've gotten a few more as we went. That 24-hour stream really got a whole bunch of people going on.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So, check us out. And then also we want to shout out our sponsor, Gorilla Press Apparel. As you see the banner going up, use the code MEM24 at Gorilla Press Apparel when you check out, and there's a discount on that. So we have 132 subscribers, and I'm hoping at least 100 are listening right about now. So
nice. I think we got at least 50, hopefully.
Let's go. If there isn't 50, what the hell are you doing on a Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern at 11 o'clock Pacific? What are you doing? You're not doing anything. Yeah. Just come hang out with us. And the man behind the glass. Oh, drinking early. All right. And the man behind the glass is our man, Mr. OTM Kyle. So you won't be seeing him popping in, but we'll be popping champagne and having some fun right here. So let's start off with Worlds Collide. Great Brown Hope, this is your area of expertise. Man. And I'm going to most of the time defer to you on your thoughts and opinions on this. And I think we'll start off. I think we're going to start off with this LWO match. All right. We're going to start off with all right. We'll start with the North American Championship.
Why not?
Yeah, whatever the man behind the glass posts for us, and that is your champion Ethan Page versus Ray Fenix versus Javon Evans versus Laredo Kid. I'm going to defer to you. Let's start with your assessment.
Well, what I'll do to get us some time before this guy gets on here. What I do want to mention is that this is something I didn't think would ever happen, which is crazy considering how much talent comes from Mexico and from the other parts of the world and how vital it is to the success of the brand. And to see this happen with NXT after they bought it, I mean, you had to know they were gonna do it with NXT when they purchased AAA. They were going to make something happen. I mean, these guys aren't main roster ready, to be honest. Some of them may be on the microphone and a presence and with popularity at the aura, but they're not going to know the WWE style.
Oh, you don't think you don't think that these AAA guys are television ready?
Oh no, they're television ready. They're just not Raw, SmackDown ready.
They're not TV wrestling ready like we call it in this over here. You're saying?
Yeah, like they're ready for NXT TV for sure. You know what I mean? Or they can call it on the fly, or they can work with each other, make it work. Trial and error. Because I don't think NXT is live. Is it? Is it pre-recorded?
Sure, it is. Yeah, no, it's live. It's
live on live.
Tuesdays. Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow. Well, I mean, they're definitely NXT TV ready. I think with putting together this pay-per-view, it gives them a chance to get a lot of their Latino talent on the card, get them some shine, which is what we're getting from NXT, which is a very Latino-heavy roster. And
well, let me ask you something. What's now that you've had some time to sit on this and kind of think about it? What is your assessment of that purchase of AAA? Like, what do you think? What do you think's the end game, and how happy or how much suspicion do you have of what they did?
What I think is going to happen here is going to be similar to TNA thing. They'll have some NXT guys on AAA, of course, which we'll touch on that later. Mm-hmm. We're going to be seeing a lot of AAA talent on either NXT or WWE TV after this. This is going to be their way to bring in new talent without having to farm talent, so to speak, or having to consistently draw from their next in line pool, having to push more people into there. In this case, they get to bring in 3, 4, maybe 5 people every 2-3 weeks, have them on NXT or on NXT pay-per-views, even if they're just showing up, waving high like they had them this week. You know what I mean? Just making their presence known, and this is their chance to also pry some AAA fans over to NXT. Like, hey, Santos is here. I was gonna say Hijo del Ninja, but you guys don't know those names. Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo, they know those guys.
Yeah.
Raul Mendoza came up in AAA and CMLL, so they know him. And they're going to have their share of fans, and this is going to be their chance to say, like, hey, we got more Lucha Libre guys here. Come watch NXT. Or we're going to have Hijo del Vikingo on Raw. Come watch Raw. Little things like that. You can have a whole country behind you. You take away from the equation having to look for the next Rey Mysterio, which is what it's always been, the next Rey Mysterio. They haven't, looked to find their own Mexican character that's theirs. Santos Escobar, I think, is that guy.
I see, that's my. Well, I don't know if I think, Hijo de Vikingo was on AEW. He's done his tours of the country. He's been a maniac on the indies. I wonder how, because even in the 90s, right, Psychosis and Hoovy and all those, everyone's looking for Rey, and there's only one Rey. I do not think there's going to be. I don't think you'll ever catch lightning in a bottle like you did with Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
I just don't think it. I don't know how you ever. I don't appreciate from the company trying to only say the words like looking for the next Rey Mysterio. You know what I mean? Right. I find it to be insulting as a wrestling fan. I find it to be insulting as an adult.
Yeah.
Like, stop trying to find somebody. Just stop. Just give me somebody, give me somebody new. Give me somebody fresh. Every time you try to give me a giant, they bring out somebody. There's not going to be another giant. There's not going to be another Big Show. Then you start parading out these parade of buffoonery, and nobody ever can match. So, I don't know. I think it's silliness. I want to, before I'm going to stop us for a second, because I want to introduce one half of the Wrestling Junkies, and the one who I am not feuding with currently right now, the podcast dad, coming to us live from his car studio.
He is literally out there.
Yeah, he is out there.
I am out.
What's up, man?
You guys hear me all right?
Yeah, we hear you. Where you headed? The supermarket?
No, we just dropped the kids off. We're going to a baseball game a little bit later, so we're just out running some errands. It's all good.
Dedication to the craft. Oh, we're doing good. We're just shooting the shit, and we were waiting for you before we got to our first assessment. But Great Brown Hope's got some really good. I like to hear his analysis of this purchase of AAA and what he expects we're going to see. And I'm just a little leery. I don't know. I hate to see like the locations like kind of lose their their personality. You know what I mean? Like everything has. Japan had its own personality. When they overtook England, all those companies are gone. You know, those scenes of everybody, just mob scenes of wrestling. You know, Mexican wrestling and the luchadors with, you know, some fans coming with families and they're eating dinner, like sitting in the crowd, and people are jumping in the crowd or jumping off of things. I feel like the sanitization of what we like starts to slowly creep in, and then it all kind of looks the same.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen with AAA too. If you watch AAA shows, they do not. Well, back then they used to not take themselves very seriously. They had a lot of comedic acts. I mean, you had kids in the audience and stuff, so they made it work. They had their fair share of wrestling and hijinks, so to speak. So it's gotten more serious over the years. You know, there's a prestige to it, of course, and there is an honor that these wrestlers boast about, that they carry with them when they wrestle for AAA or CMLL. Like, you know, we're part of the chosen few. They get to perform for our country and for our people, and that's going to change drastically, and it's going to be really bad for AAA if the WWE fingerprint ends up all over everything. If they just bring people out of AAA into NXT or Raw, SmackDown, whoever, they'll be okay. But if they end up soiling the product, it's not going to be great.
Yeah,
podcast.
It's going to lose its touch.
Podcast had your thought on that?
I think at the end of the day, it was, hey, AAA was running out of money and they needed help, so they threw the lifeline out. And WWE is now at the point with TKO where they're here to make all the money that they can, and they saw value in it.
Yeah.
Here we are. I remember when Triple H first kind of took over, he talked about NXT Europe or Global or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
It really never came to fruition. I think we're starting to see that because they have the Mexico company. They now, I think they bought a Puerto Rican company as well.
Oh shit!
They're going to keep going. They're not going to stop. This is what we're kind of in for, I think, at this point now. So we'll see what happens. I'm not too super familiar with AAA. Like, I haven't watched a ton of it. Like, I know some of the wrestlers, but this is a lot of these guys will be kind of brand new to me.
Oh yeah.
I'm in a wait and see mode. The partnership with TNA, I thought, has been well. Like, I think it's done well.
But for who? Who's it done well for? That's my one problem.
For Trick Williams,
it's gotten TNA so much exposure. Like, a lot of exposure. And that's like, if you're a company, like, I think we need to look at it as, okay, like, AAA is not the major leagues in terms of where they are right now, right? So
right.
They're kind of a minor league system. So it's the same thing with TNA. TNA is not in the major leagues as of right now. So you're kind of looking at minor league systems. It's like the baseball analogy. Like, those are their minor leagues for right now. You send your big stars there to rehab or learn something new, and that's kind of what it is. And those other companies get that exposure. For them, I think it's good business because they're going to make money, those other companies. But as fans, again, I think we need to kind of reassess how we look at WWE now, because stuff we've said on our show is it's no longer a family business. It's a corporation. So I think we're just going to have to adjust how we feel about some of this stuff and know that maybe it's not always for the fans kind of thing. It's more about making the most money possible and running a business. I guess I can't get that mad. Like, if I put the business hat on, take the fan hat off, like, I can't get that mad, but it's just going to be an adjustment. I think we're in an adjustment period.
So let's start to get into more of this. We're going to start with this Ethan Page match, but I want your opinion. Or even just let's fantasy book this. What is the ring and the arena supposed to look like tonight for Worlds Collide? What should they be? What's the right way this place should look for this show? Do you think it should have a AAA flair, almost like the yellow tile on the floor and or is it just going to be, unfortunately, what we think is the standard create a ring from 2K25?
I don't know, man. I want it to be a AAA style ring. It's in Los Angeles. It's at the Forum, which has had a lot of legendary Latino performances there.
Yeah.
I believe AAA has been there before as well, if I'm not mistaken. But it would be nice to see them pay tribute to AAA. I mean, before they get their fingerprints all over it and stuff. So just to kind of like pay tribute to what AAA was always about. But I get the feeling it's just going to be like a standard NXT style ring.
before they start it up. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get like a mariachi band at the beginning or something, like some beautiful tribute to AAA, and then that's gonna be pretty much it. It's like, okay, this is our AAA now from here on out. Here we go.
Okay, so let's get into the first match, and Kyle behind the glass is going to insist on us doing this Ethan Page match first.
So he really wants us to talk about it.
He really wants us to talk about it.
Oh man!
So let's get into it. So it's the North American title match, and it is Ethan Page versus Rey Fenix versus Javon Evans versus Laredo Kid, who I love, by the way, and I've met a few times in Cleveland, and he is a trip, man. So let's get into this one. Great Brown Hope, lead the way. What's your assessment of this match?
Oh man, you got all the bangers here. You've got Rey Fenix from SmackDown, Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, a little bit of everything, so everything's sprinkled. This is going to be a very spot-heavy match, and Javon Evans is going to come out the star in this one. He's going to steal the show. He's going to be going head-to-head with two of the greatest exports from Mexico and Ethan Page. I mean, not to sound Ethan Page. Ethan Page is awesome. I love Ethan Page. I got nothing against the guy, but this is going to be Javon Evans' match. I think Javon Evans is probably going to sort of close to pin either Laredo Kid or Phoenix, and Ethan Page is going to steal it. It's what Ethan Page does. Ethan Page is going to be calculated while these guys tear each other to shreds. Yeah. So you can do the best flips outside the ring or something, and he's just going to be watching like a hawk, retaining his title.
Podcast Dad, your opinion on this one?
I have to agree. I think Javon Evans is going to win this. I think it's his time. Like, we've seen him in the main event of other shows. We've seen him challenge for the big championship in NXT. Let's reward him. Like, he's put on amazing matches. He's wrestled Randy Orton on NXT. Hell, like, let's reward him. Give him the North American Championship. Ethan Page doesn't need it. I don't think Rey Fenix would be long for NXT anyway, considering that he didn't want to go to NXT in the first place. And then, Laredo Kid's in there for the AAA aspect, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't need Ethan Page in NXT anymore. Like, let's move him up.
Yeah, call him up.
Let's just do that and pull the Band-Aid off. Give it to Javon Evans. Let's see what he can do with the title.
So I agree with the both of you. I just have a different angle on this, where I think this match is strictly an NXT showcase. Yes, you have Laredo Kid in it, and yes, you have Rey Fenix, but I think this is the only match that I look at the card and go, there is no other reason for this match to happen except for our NXT guys to get their reps in here and do something and further their feud. So I honestly, as much as I love Laredo Kid and Rey Fenix, they're not in this match as contenders. They're in this match as enhancement to do cool stuff. And people that say that was really cool. But honestly, I don't think Javon Evans is going to win. I think Ethan Page is going to retain. He just won that belt. I do think it'll further their feud. But I do the one thing that's kind of, to me, it's kind of disheartening is that you can see it. The only point of this match is for the NXT guys to get over. So that's that side of things. As far as that match goes, I don't know, what it is as far as that goes, but we'll move on to the next one. There, man behind the glass. All right, we're gonna go to the LWO, which I honestly, Great Brown Hope, I don't know what you think, but I can't stand the LWO name for them anymore. Like, stop. There's no fun in it. LWO was fun. It had El Dandy, and it was really fun. And I hate
El Dandy.
Right, and I hate the fact that they made this LWO it's just a cheap way to sell T-shirts.
Yes, and thank you.
And Joaquin Wilde's not even in this match. It's Lince Dorado.
What?
Yeah, he was replaced.
They took out Joaquin?
Yeah, so and he's not even. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he got hurt pretty bad.
So this one's gonna be. This match is gonna be. Yeah. Hold on. It's gonna be Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Lince Dorado.
Man, Dragon Lee's on the show. I didn't know that was possible.
What'd you say?
I said I didn't know Dragon Lee was allowed to wrestle.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks of Dragon Lee on NXT.
That's because Rey Mysterio's not around. Come on, man. Rey Mysterio only cares about Rey Mysterio.
I'm sorry. I opened up that wound again. Sorry.
Yep. Come on, man. And
Yeah, give me a background on the three AAA stars here.
All right. Well, before we do that, I honestly really wanted Joaquin in this match.
Me too.
Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde. They don't deserve to be an LWO. They deserve so much better. They only brought back LWO to sell T-shirts.
I don't even think Joaquin Wilde's not even Latino.
We accept him. He's one of us. He came up in AAA.
Oh, okay. Oh, we lost podcast there, but now it's just you and me again. But Rocky Roll's in the car. Yep.
Because he had an accident in a match, and he was supposed to have a tryout in WWE in Mexico, and he had he almost lost his life.
He didn't he tear his colon or something? He really screwed himself up. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then when he came in to NXT was the same time Angel Garza got there, Raul Mendoza, Santos Escobar. I forget who else got there at the same time as they did, but they were all there together, and that's what made Legado special. So to see them, basically, as soon as they moved Santos up, Joaquin and Raul Mendoza just became part of the background. So, and with every single tag match that has been on SmackDown or Raw, it's been Rey Mysterio. Not once has there been Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde for the tag titles or something. It's had to be Rey Mysterio.
Well, they had him right. They had him in NXT. They really treated Santos Escobar like a star in NXT.
Oh, they did, yeah. With the Cruiserweight Championship, they treated him like a big time star, and he was. He was coming from AAA. He was coming with all this hype.
He was El Hijo de Fantasma, right?
El Hijo de Fantasma, second generation star. Okay. So, like I said earlier, we'll touch on Santos later. But with bringing in Joaquin and Cruz del Toro with Santos to SmackDown, and then they added Zelina Vega, remember that? Yeah. And then they put them into LWO, which Rey Mysterio only brought back to sell shirts. And he didn't even want to be in the original LWO to begin with. So it's all a sham.
And now and Zelina's Puerto Rican and Lince Dorado's Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah, I believe Lince's Puerto Rican.
So the original LWO, wasn't it just supposed to be Mexican wrestlers back in the 90s?
Yeah, it was all Mexicans. It was everybody who was being held down by Eric Bischoff.
That's just stupid Triple H calling it anything he wants and bringing in
exactly. Well, I don't know.
I'm not even Mexican. What am I doing in the LWO?
I would say it's Rey Mysterio. It's a Rey Mysterio thing. Like, he wanted to sell shirts because when he has a new shirt, everybody else wears the LWO shirt. And then when he doesn't have a new shirt, all of a sudden he's got the LWO shirt on. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm only wearing this shirt for Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde. That's all it's for. I wanted to see these guys get some shine here. When they're together, they're great together, man. Mm-hmm. Joaquin and Cruz del Toro, you can see they've worked together for a very long time. Obviously they train together. They've trained with a lot of the best superstars that the Performance Center has had to offer. And for them to not be together in this match is a heartbreaker for me, man. So it really changes the dynamic for me for this match. The excitement's a little different, but I hope Cruz gets to shine. Octagon Jr., man. Let me see. I had some stats written down here, so it'll be a little bit easier. But you're gonna get 3 of the biggest stars.
I've seen Aerostar take those dumb dives off the top of scaffolding and land on his head, right?
Yeah.
So Aerostar was he was in Lucha Underground, wasn't he? As somebody else?
I really don't remember. I know some of them, but I don't remember much of Aerostar. No, Octagon Jr. is a former champion. He's had 2 different championships. I know he's had the AAA Trios Championship. He had another championship. But his style kind of reminds me of Unico. He's really fast. He's really fast on the ropes. He's great on the ropes. He's light on his feet. You're gonna get a lot of pizzazz. Not wow. You're gonna get pizzazz. This guy is awesome. He's strictly clean with it.
Aerostar was in Lucha Underground as Aerostar.
Oh, was he?
Okay.
Oh, as Aerostar. Okay, that's probably why.
I knew. Every time I see him, I'm like, where the hell is he from? I've seen him a million times. Most of the time, you just see him scramble his brains against the ground.
I don't remember Aerostar much, but I do know Octagon Jr. and Mr. Iguana. Mr. Iguana has a sock puppet kind of thing.
Oh, so is he a comedy act?
Kind of, but he's pretty slick in the ring. He's good. He's really good. I like him a lot. He's quick as well. He reminds me of a friend of mine who's also bald like he is, but he's got this iguana.
Yeah, and he's not a masked wrestler. He just paints his head.
He paints his whole head. It's crazy, man. The dedication these people put into their characters is insane. And they walk around the street like that, so nobody knows who they are.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. Kayfabe, brother.
Sacred.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Kayfabe
it up. Keeping it alive.
So what do we think is actually going to happen here? Because so matches that don't have any stakes, right? We hardly ever see a showcase pay-per-view. This is strictly a showcase pay-per-view with one match that has stakes, that Ethan Page match. Everything else is showcase style. So what exactly is the gimmick, is the game plan here? What's the end game for this match?
Everybody's going to get to shine. Everyone's going to get their 3, 4, 5 minutes. It's going to be a spot fest, but with them all knowing the language, being able to communicate with each other, it's going to be easier to call things on the fly. And these are all trained athletes. They've all been in and out of the ring for the last 4 or 5 years. Octagon Jr. is only, I think, 33, 34 years old. So these guys got a lot of miles left in them.
So go ahead. Sorry.
Like in AAA, the tag rules for trios are different. Like usually they all end up in the ring at the same time, like tornado style. So you're gonna see a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm assuming. I think this is the match for AAA. By the way, I don't see Lince Dorado's not assigned a WWE talent. Cruz unfortunately has been used as enhancement too often. And I just don't think I don't and Dragon Lee as well. Unfortunately, I think Cruz del Toro takes the pin. He eats the pin. And Octagon, Aerostar, Mr. Iguana gets it as like to make the AAA fans happy. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I think with Joaquin out of the equation, that's what's going to happen. Because if you would have had Joaquin and Cruz in there, that's an experienced tag team. So they would have had a great advantage in this match. And then you have Dragon Lee too, I guess. But just with the 3 of them having their own chemistry against 3 guys put together from AAA would obviously have a better advantage. But it's all right, Hopefully he gets better. It'll be good to see him back. I mean, I honestly wanted this to be their moment. I wanted them to get their little shine, get their shine on a PLE, which I don't think they've been on any PLE since NXT. So it's fucked up, man.
I couldn't agree more. They had that great moment on, I think it was SmackDown, where you had Joaquin do that a slingshot.
That's insane how far he gets, man.
Yeah. So they kind of don't give him enough of a chance. Fine. I mean, I don't understand why, but that's the direction they're going in.
It's because Rey Mysterio only cares about Rey Mysterio.
You think this is all Rey Mysterio holding down these guys?
No, because I mean, they're not going to give everybody an LWO TV time, so they're going to give it to Rey.
Mm-hmm.
And Rey has power. He's got stance in the back. He could be the guy that says like, let my guy shine.
So is Rey a little punk ass? And he's like,
I would think so.
No.
I believe Dom. You know what I'm saying? I believe Dom.
Oh, no.
So Rey Mysterio don't forget, Rey Mysterio let his son get beat up by Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So
he don't want us to talk about Rey Mysterio no more.
Right.
He said, move on.
Man behind the glass. He's saying, here's the next one, stupid. Go right ahead. All right. We're gonna move into our women's match. It is Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice versus Chick Tormenta, and is it Dalis?
I'm
is that how you pronounce it?
I'm only familiar with Chick Tormenta.
Okay, so we have this is another showcase of thank you, man behind the glass. It is Dalis.
He speaks Spanish.
So again, I honestly I don't think this is anything but a way to get for Stephanie and Lola to get over. This is unfortunate because I'm sure it's probably upsetting you to see this, but honestly, as probably as a Lucha fan, it just a few of these matches you can tell right away who's winning. I just don't. You're not getting anything. The fans aren't going home with anything if Tormenta and Dalis win. So, and you're not going to stop your brand new signing on Raw and take a pinfall or anything like that.
Right.
So unless there's 5 months of build for this pay-per-view, this is just another one of those matches where they're going to introduce these 2 women to you, say, hey, this is who's here. And then, then they're going to beat each other up and Stephanie's going to get the feel good and that's it. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah. The only one I would say for this one is Probably Dallas is going to take the pin, or Lola Vice if they pull one out of the hat. To be honest, I know Chick Tormento from DTU, Destruction Total. Raul Mendoza was there for a while. Cruz del Toro, so I'm familiar with her from that. Then she went on to AAA. She's pretty good. I could see her and Stephanie taking up most of the time on the show on that match. They're going to be sparring a lot. Lola Vice is going to get to show off her kicks and whatnot. But she's not going to get to do her usual shenanigans because, Tormenta and Dallas are a little bit more serious with the craft. So you can expect some hard knocks in this one. And but Vaquer is probably familiar with them as it is. And Lola Vice is she is a grappler. She was in UFC before, right? Or MMA? What was it?
Yeah, she was in MMA. I don't think she wasn't a UFC fighter, but she was definitely MMA before that.
I mean, you could expect this to be a stiff match. I don't know because Vaquer's been booked 4 times this week.
Yeah, she's got 3 matches today.
SmackDown, 3 matches today.
3 matches. I'm sorry, 3 matches this weekend. She had SmackDown last night. Okay. She has Worlds Collide and then Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I mean they're overworking her like hell.
You know what? She's what's hot. That's the way to go, right? Yeah. And smart. I said it before. I don't know if I've said it on our other show. I said she is the best women's wrestler on the planet. And I will fight that. I'll fight anybody about it. If you can prove to me there's someone better. I know people like Toni Storm. I know people like Rhea. I'm talking physical skills and the whole package. It is Stephanie Vaquer is the best women's wrestler on the planet. That's just my opinion.
Respectable. I like that. All right. I really can't think of a better name. I would have to go back and look at the archives, see who else is wrestling at the moment, but I don't think I'll be able to find anybody.
There's not. Oh, and Man Behind the Glass says there's our prompt. Follow us across all the Main Event Network socials, Indie Wrestling Guide, Night Shift, Great Brown Hope and his blog, World Order. Yeah. We got On the Mark. We got the Wrestling Junkies, except for Mr. Cincinnati and I. We're gonna, if you want to see us fist fight on camera, may happen one day. But otherwise, follow us.
What's that in Mr. Cincinnati's corner? Mr. Cincinnati.
Kyle and Tino are gonna fight too. So if you want to see us do some sort of blood sport style pay-per-view, I think something will happen eventually. Anyway,
why the hell not? I'll tag with Jay Gold and Tim Vicious. We'll have that
would be the sickest trios you could put together. We wouldn't lose.
Oh
yeah. we'd have to come out to some sort of really good '90s hip hop. I think like that.
I feel like Tim Vicious would jump into a moving car just to stop somebody. Get the fuck out! Oh, he's bleeding from his head.
Yeah, he's that guy. He's the guy in the pit. He's the last one in the pit. That's what I think. Like,
he's fighting himself after everybody left. He's just fighting himself. You can't see. He's got so much blood on his face. He doesn't know he's fighting himself.
Right, his beard is just red at that point.
Crimson beard.
Oh Lord. All right, Kyle. Throw up the other banner.
I saw the prompt. Play it again.
All right, so we are going to.
Ooh, this is going to be good. Oh man.
Now, I thought, am I wrong? Who's the kid? Dr. Wagner, was that Dr. Wagner's son who wrestled in GCW? The big. Yeah. So is this kid?
Yeah, Wagner Jr. El hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr.
Yeah, this is going to be him. That big monster who was in GCW. I love it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I was saying. That there's a lot of lucha libre royalty in this match. It's a big. Yeah. He's the grandson. He's the grandson of Dr. Wagner and the son of Dr. Wagner Jr.
All right.
And his mother is professional wrestler Rossi Moreno.
Now. I've seen Pagano and Psycho Clown wrestle, and I've seen Psycho Clown in Cleveland. Yeah,
Tim Vicious would love Psycho Clown. That's Tim Vicious and AAA, Psycho Clown.
But the question is, how does this match work? Like, Psycho Clown and Pagano are lunatics, and then you have the class and the prim and proper Legado del Fantasma. The guys who look like $1 million, right? And like, so what is going to happen here? What are we going to see here?
In a perfect world, this is the moment you strap a rocket onto Legado del Fantasma and shoot them up into the sky. They are literally lucha libre royalty. Santos is the son of Fantasma, and then Angel and Humberto are nephews of what's his name?
What's Garza, right? Hector Garza.
And WCW, yeah, Hector Garza. I was going to say just Garza. Daniel or Hector, but yeah, Hector Garza. And I think with their bloodlines and what their legacies mean to wrestling is what's important. Everyone's all, like I mentioned earlier, like everyone's talking about the next Rey Mysterio. Like you have the first Lucha Libre royalty family in your business. You have El Último Ninja, El Hijo del Ninja, which are Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. Then you got Hijo del Fantasma.
Oh, wait a minute. Slow down with me. So Garza and Carrillo, they were masked wrestlers before they came over?
Yep. They took off Humberto's mask because he was so young. They're like, hey, you got like a fresh baby face. Let's market that. And that's how they proposed him when they brought him in. They had him with remember those pictures where everybody was like this with the developmental shirts?
Yeah.
He had his mask off. Same thing with Angel Garza.
Okay.
Until Angel Garza lose the mask. Like they're part of that generation. Like the early Performance Center picks before the next in line guys.
Yeah.
They were there. So they got there when Dawkins got there. Otis. Who else?
Was it Bianca Belair? Was she in that class?
I think they came a year before her class.
Okay.
Like the class right before hers, because that's when they started getting the next in line acts. Because she was part of the first next in line class.
Okay.
And I think Montez was part of that class too. But they come from a really early class. They've done their dirt at NXT. They came with history, so they put in their time. Angel Garza used to be on TV as well. So he used to be on some game show, I forget, but he was a part of some show.
No shit.
Yeah. So these guys are pretty much built for TV. They're made for TV. And they have legacies in Mexico that would push them towards, who needs a Rey Mysterio when you've got these guys? Apparently, all of Mexico knows these guys. And now that WWE has control of AAA, one of the two biggest wrestling markets in Mexico, you don't need to have these guys get over in the United States. You can have them get over in Mexico first.
That's very interesting you say that.
You build that following in Mexico, you build it up even more, and they see that these guys are the guys of the brand. There's going to be more people that watch in the United States. They're going to put them on TV more, and they're going to see, okay, you know what, Legado is the real deal.
All right, so who wins this match? Tell me. After all that,
Legado.
Okay.
Legado has to win this match. They've got some tension in the group, but I think Santos lets Carrillo shine, and he goes crazy, man.
Who takes the pin? Which one of the AAA talent?
Humberto's going to pin Psycho Clown.
I don't
Wagner Jr. cannot afford to take a pin.
No, he will not.
He cannot.
No.
It's going to be Psycho Clown.
I'm with you. Yep. I think because I saw Wagner Jr. at the Cinco de Mayo GCW show last May, not the one that happened, not this year. He was in Jersey City, and I was so impressed by that dude. Like everyone in the place, they couldn't take their eyes off him. He's just a monster. Like, I could see Psycho Clown doesn't need any of it. Like he's just like, yeah. I mean, you could put him anywhere. Unfortunately, I don't know if his style translates to anything WWE wants to do ever. He's a maniac. Like I don't know how you do like. How do you do anything?
He's Jeff Hardy to the 10th power. He's fucking insane.
He's insane.
He is a psycho. His name is Psycho Clown.
they had him in AIW, and it was something. Man. Yeah.
But he's perfect. He's perfect for like that underground wrestling, that dirty, grimy, real shit. Where like this guy's not scared of anything. He doesn't care about the big leagues.
You know what WWE should buy? They should buy that Zona 23 or whatever that's called. That junkyard wrestling. Remember that? That was ridiculous. So. People were going down there. They actually had like Matt Justice. They threw Matt Justice down to take a bump on top of a car. Like, what are they doing?
They got to do something. I mean, you got to appease to the entire audience. Like, you don't need to look for your next big thing. You need to look for niche crowds. That's what you need, where you can go and put on a show like this. If they do Worlds Collide again, if they do this on a yearly basis, they could do it in Mexico next year. They don't have to send one of their regular PLEs. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have to send Backlash or the Royal Rumble to Mexico. They could just, hey, let's just do Worlds Collide every fucking year in
Mexico.
Imagine
that voice. WWE presents from Zona 23. It's Worlds Collide.
Worlds Collide,
right?
2.0.
Right. They just find whichever guys are like, hey, you want to go to Mexico and go through a car? Yeah, all right. You want me to put you through some real glass? Yes. They just find whoever wants to go.
Desastre Total, that's a league as well. It's kind of like CZW. It's just like insane, man. Like you buy up those little ones, and you don't even have to put your branding on them. You just buy them up, and you send your people there every now and then. That's money, man. You need those niche crowds.
All right, we're gonna get to the last match of the card as we look towards Money in the Bank. We're going to wrap it up with the main event. So
I'll let you take this one. You take the lead.
I don't. There's no way Vikingo loses this match. I love Chad Gable. You're not going to make Chad Gable the AAA mega champion or whatever he is. It's going to be the best match of the weekend by far. By far. I don't care what anybody says. But the problem, and I'll only say this: the problem with Vikingo is WWE views smaller and Latino wrestlers in a bad light. And a guy like Vikingo, yes, he's going to get over with a lot of his crazy stuff. I have a feeling a guy like Vikingo coming out of Gorilla is going to be told, hey, do not do the 630 or what, the 640 splash to the outside through a table. Like you only have so many of those, in it. Like, so I worry about that, but I do think Vikingo's got to be the guy who carries that title as the ambassador for the brand.
I like it.
Yeah.
But it's like I think I mentioned it on NXT Night Shift. And if you're not following NXT Night Shift, make sure you're following and subscribe to NXT Night Shift. You might catch the Grapevine Hope there someday.
Yes, sir.
But I mentioned and OTM and on the Mark podcast. So make sure you follow, subscribe to them as well. I mentioned it on both shows that Gable loses this match and Grande Americano wins Money in the Bank. And he takes the title from Vikingo. Plain and simple.
That'd be horrible. That'd be horrible.
No, you got to think about Chad Gable, right? I mean, it's just like you mentioned about Vikingo. They don't like their smaller wrestlers, and they don't like their smaller American wrestlers either. Chad Gable has come a really long way from Shorty G to before Shorty G, was he in that team Alpha with Jason Jordan, right?
Yeah.
And they were
great.
They were. He was getting his chance to shine, but even then, you knew like, oh no, the star is going to be Jason Jordan. Like he looks like the star. He's built like a star. And Chad Gable's come a really long way, and everyone is really talking about like, this Grande Americano gimmick is terrible. But people like myself from the Brown community are totally down with it. Like we love this shit. It's stupid funny.
I know you would.
The kind of shit they do in Mexico. Like you don't have to take wrestling so seriously. Like it's just entertainment. Like, I mean, I know we take it seriously sometimes, but I mean, all of a sudden,
we talk about all the time. Wrestling fans are idiots. Like, most
most
wrestling fans are fucking idiots. And you know what? Hey, man. Brother, there's my brother right there. So
I thought most wrestling,
no.
I just saw Sam. I thought I saw Stan. I was like, oh hell no, Stan fears the Great Brown Hope.
I will say most to all wrestling fans are idiots, and they ruin everything that's good and fun. And El Grande Americano, when they said he came from the Gulf of America, I went, "Oh, clever! They got you!" Like, and all of a sudden, the world exploded. Instead of just being like, "Yeah, they're doing this on purpose to get me," people lost their shit and kind of ruined everything. So. Oh yeah, I know, Sam. Right? What the hell's that all about? I know. Listen,
it looked like it said Stan. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've been on site waiting for Stan. I ain't forgot. The Great Brown Hope never forgets.
Well.
Man.
Anyway, so I like it. I'm glad that you can get a chuckle out of it.
I love it, man.
I worry that booking decision would, as a seasoned wrestling fan as you and I are, that booking decision scares me. But why not? Maybe one. Who knows? But
you get Chad Gable on AAA every single week. Like, how is that a bad thing?
Put it on Netflix.
You know what I mean?
AAA on regular TV.
You can put AAA on Netflix or something. Yeah. I mean, you got to bridge the gap. This will help get in the new audience. This will help bring the AAA fans to watch WWE and be like, "Who is this Grande Americano asshole?" And they'll be like, "Oh my god, fucking love this guy."
Love it.
And Mexico is laughing at America, like, you guys let them name that the Gulf of America. They're gonna laugh even harder when they see that. Oh God, Americanos from the Gulf of America.
Yeah, so, I think it's great. And then, he's named after a cup of coffee anyway, so it doesn't. It's no
big deal. It's not that serious.
Well,
then, I mean, like,
go ahead.
One more quick thing, but you got Chad Gable being Eddie Murphy right now, man. That's that's where he gets all the credit in the world, man. Like he's playing two characters and he's playing it to a T.
Yeah, I could
let the guy go. Let the guy go for the ham. Let him go fucking crazy, man. ham of the year. Ham of the year was the Chad Gable.
I love it. So as we wrap up Worlds Collide, which everyone it is on in about an hour and 15 minutes, we'll all be watching. I want to start. I want us to segue into Money in the Bank, but I want to introduce a visitor on the show for the first time. He is writer, podcaster, radio producer, co-host of 1380 The Fan, bodyslam.net contributor, and a WrestleHolic contributor. He is DC Hendricks. DC, welcome to the Main Event Network, my friend.
Yo. For some reason, you reading my bio sounds like I'm doing too much.
You know what?
That's too much, man. I need to sit down somewhere.
We got to bring in with all the hype. How else do we bring in without all the hype?
That sounds good. I appreciate the welcome. You guys do great work over here.
Thank you.
And it's a pleasure to be with you, man. Here at Main Event. You guys did a great job previewing Worlds Collide, which, as you said, starts in an hour. So it's a good thing we only have 4 matches to preview for Money in the Bank.
Well, and I'm going to say the next time you come on, I need a good week of vignettes for you before we debut you. Next time. So just make a few videos for us. We'll air them during the week and just say he's coming. He's coming.
Let's do it.
All right. So from live again from Los Angeles, Money in the Bank. And this says 4 matches. I thought there were 5, but I guess there's only 4. I am not 100% happy with a pay-per-view that starts at 7 that only has 4 matches. So first opinions on that, DC. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just means that the 2 Money in the Bank matches are going to be really long. I think that's all that means. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans, especially probably in the men's Money in the Bank. I expect a lot of interference and funky things going in that. So hopefully it's just not too much. You know how sometimes they can get a little clunky with that and it's a little too much, which is not what you want. But I honestly don't think this is a bad card. It's not going to be very hard to top last year because last year it was really just Tiffany Stratton winning for me. And then other than that, it was just kind of meh. So I think there's a lot of highlighting and a lot more storylines in this year's Money in the Bank.
But I love Money in the Bank, but I don't need Royal Rumble length Money in the Bank matches. There's only 6 people in each match. I don't need an hour for both of those matches. And if that's the goal, we're in trouble. I hope it's only 2.5 hours. That's fine. It gives me time to do other things later. But I'm worried. I don't want an hour Money in the Bank match. I don't need it.
Well, Seth Rollins is in one, so the entrance is going to take 10 minutes. That's already 10 minutes right off the bill.
I got to tell you though, by the way, before we start the card, I went back and I don't know where I get into these holes, and I saw the video and I didn't remember this of COVID Money in the Bank where what's his name threw Rey Mysterio. Oh, it was Baron Corbin threw Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black off the roof of Titan Towers, and it was never.
Shayna Baszler choked out Rey Mysterio.
Right. it was never addressed. Yeah, and they're both still alive, and I don't understand, but. Yeah, that's just something to think about as we go forward in the Money in the Bank where things don't mean anything unless you have the Money in the Bank case. So, hey, man behind the glass, give us the first match.
Yeah, where you at, man?
All right. So, DC, I'm going to let you lead us off. The women's Money in the Bank. Roxanne Perez versus Naomi versus Rhea Ripley versus Stephanie Vaquer versus Julia versus Alexa Bliss. Let's talk. What do you think?
Man, so you're going to start off with the hardest one? This is the hardest one to pick.
That's Kyle's pick. He puts the banners up. I didn't have a say.
This is the one I'm most excited about just because there's a lot of different routes you can go with this one. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be between Rhea and Naomi. I think it's going to be one of them that walks out with it. I'm thinking it's going to be Rhea Ripley. I think Rhea Ripley walks out with Money in the Bank. Like I said, there's so many different storylines. I thought it was really interesting though that they mentioned during Julia last night on SmackDown that they reminded us that you can cash in on any title. So that could have been very strategic. So maybe Julia, but no, I got Rhea Ripley. I think she wins and holds Money in the Bank for a little bit.
Great Brown Hope.
It's up in the air. And I think with Latinos getting so much shine today, I think Stephanie's out of the equation for sure. I'll probably take Roxanne out of there too, but she's from Texas. I got to go with Naomi, man. I mean, she's put in the most work. She's done the most dirt. She's evolved her character for like the 20th time. She just gets better and better with time. She's been around more than 10 years now. I think she's owed her dues, man. She's paid her dues a long time ago. She's making everybody else look good in the process. It's her turn, bro.
So I am all for both of your picks, and there's DC. The thing that scares me is what you said at the end of that is that I know it's a contract. So if I didn't read so much Twitter all the time, and I'm always on it, like looking and like what's happening, and I didn't see across my desk, that Triple H hates the gimmick of Money in the Bank. Like, I don't want to see it diminished, right? So any woman or man who wins this, there was something too where everyone's like, this is the next guy. Oh my God, this guy's going to win the title. I wonder what's going to happen. And then we lost it for a while where Damian Sandow won it and lost it. And John Cena won it. Brock totally devalued it because it didn't matter if Brock could have beaten anybody. It started to lose its luster. And I think I worry. So even what you said, Great Brown Hope, about going down to AAA, right? If El Grande Americano won. So like seeing, I get it, Julia or Stephanie win it or Roxanne and go down to NXT, I feel like it devalues what it is. So that's why I like what you're saying about Naomi. I like Rhea. I think Rhea doesn't need it. Rhea's she's crossing into the Rubicon of a talent who never needs a belt to be popular. All she has to do is come out. Yeah, like Brock Lesnar. All she has to do is come out, and the roof comes off of her.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Right? Yeah, like there's no
everybody
reason.
Loves mommy. Come on.
Yeah, so that's why I think, and unfortunately, I think Alexa, they don't really have a direction for her. So I have no idea.
No, they don't. They really don't.
And I can't put the doll away. We don't need the doll anymore. Put the doll away and let's get you back to something. But I do.
So I mean, my Rhea pick, I didn't say she needed it.
Yeah.
I just think it's kind of similar to last year with Drew McIntyre, why he won it. He didn't need it either. Drew McIntyre doesn't need it. No. He can just come out and say, I want a title shot. I'm Drew McIntyre.
Well, I think they gave it to him as like a tip of the hat because he was the champ through the COVID years, and I think they wanted him to get that feeling again in front of a crowd. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why. So I do think Rhea, you're onto something though for Rhea, where she could get it, and then somebody could come out and she could win the belt, and then someone could come out and beat her, or something. I wonder what the end game is with Rhea as far as the title goes, but she could be put into a WrestleMania main event, tomorrow, and everybody would show up and buy tickets
without a title.
Yeah, the only one, unfortunately, on this list that the two that I don't think have a shot is Alexa and Roxanne. Everyone else, I think you could be surprised. You know how much Shawn Michaels loves Stephanie and Julia, but I don't know. I think Rhea and Naomi are the smart picks, either one. And I do think if Naomi wins, I do think the roof would come off the place too. I do. And I love the villain Naomi better. I think I like villain Naomi better than good guy Naomi. Yeah.
She saw Lady Gaga's telephone and said, "That's what I want to be." Love it, man. Love it.
See, the two that I would say that I think don't have a shot is Julia.
Oh, okay.
See, the only reason I could see Roxanne a little bit is because they very clearly kind of threw her with the Rocket, like throwing her right in with the Judgment Day, which was one of the biggest factions over the past couple of years. I could see that being, I could see that happening even more than Julia, where Julia, I think, will lose this, like they just said. I think Julia she's going to be focusing on the United States belt in Zelina Vega.
And that's a good point too. They're setting that up really nicely. Their mid-card women's division is solid. The WWE, I know everybody loves crapping on WWE. I love it. Oh, crap on the releases, crap on the ads in the ring. But when you look at the talent roster they've assembled, and yes, we're upset that R-Truth is gone, but when you look at what they're peeling away almost and making into this well-refined talent roster, you're starting to look and go, where, there's so much talent. Where does everybody fit?
Yeah.
And yes, Julia and Zelina, wow, a mid-card, the Intercontinental or the United States title with, let's say, Julia having it. How many bangers are on that roster that she could have? Mm-hmm. A ton.
Yeah.
So maybe we could cut her out. And if I was putting $1,000 on this match, yes, I think you're right. I think it would be Rhea and Naomi after this conversation. So, all right, man behind the glass. What do you got next? All right, here we go.
Come on, Kyle. Oh man,
DC, I'm putting you in the hot seat again. Lead us off.
Man behind the glass is tough.
Yeah.
Jeez. Starting off with the hardest ones. Oh man, I was hoping this would be last. I still haven't made up my mind. No, I'm just kidding.
I was hoping it wasn't going to be on the card, but that's just my cynicism as an older gentleman.
Yeah. This is another tough one. You know, obviously this entire feud has been made for Becky to lift up Lyra once again. Yeah. She's repeatedly lost promo battles to her to make her look better. But I think this is where it comes to an end. I think Becky gets, I guess, her lick back, so to speak. She has yet to beat Lyra. Lyra has gotten the best of her twice now. So I think this is where it happens. I think Becky finally gets hers. She wins the title, and I think it's going to come with a little bit of help.
All right,
you're going to get a returning Bayley.
Is that what you think?
I think so. Yes,
that's a really interesting idea. Actually, I didn't think of that. You know what? I didn't think of that. Yeah. I think. Great Brown Hole. I'm gonna leave the next one to you, and then I'll get into that. But I agree, DC. That's something that's very interesting.
I would just have Lyra win again, 3-0 against Becky, and Becky loses her shit. Seriously, like
that would also be great.
That's also another great idea.
She needs another edge to her character. You know, she's playing the same character. I mean, it works. Why not? But just imagine she loses her mind because she can't beat someone that she calls a rookie or a wannabe Becky Lynch, and the whole time Lyra's walking around like, I pinned Becky 3 times. She hasn't pinned me once. You know what I mean? Like Becky and Alexa have kind of fallen into the category where they're helping the newer talent get over because they're the ones that have that juice. Same thing as Charlotte Flair. You know, she's not winning as many matches as she used to. Yep. But she put over Tiffany Stratton. She put over Rhea Ripley. So you got to make – they already built so many stars, and they've taken advantage of those stars and helped them build these new stars of this new generation. So I think Lyra is going to go 3-0. You need a decisive character. She's the only champion to still have her title from its origin, so to speak. So anybody who has a championship now, they're not the first ever champion.
So I agree. I agree with both of you, and I'll tell you why I think either scenario works. Because the main vehicle for this title is for Stephanie Vaquer to win it. So either way, you're going to see some sort of mega match between Stephanie and Becky, or Stephanie and Lyra, and Stephanie's going to win that belt. So DC, I don't know if you listen to the NXT Night Shift, but I've said this on it where we do our show, and I said Shawn Michaels has, like, you know how they had. Triple H had his 4 horsewomen. He had Sasha, he had Charlotte, Becky, Bayley. I think Shawn Michaels has his 4 horsewomen. He has Julia, he has Stephanie, he has Jordynne Grace, and he has Zarya. And I think those were his 4 major introductions when he went ahead and Shawn Michaels really is starting establishing himself. His big buys, so to speak. Like if you were watching English soccer, the purchases that he made, the players he brought in. Zarya, he brought Delta in from Australia. He brought Julia in. He brought Sam, fuck you. He brought that's my brother on there making those comments. Yeah. Listen.
I will say I don't, only because I also host an NXT show. That's the only
reason. I get it. Oh, rivals.
But I did watch that before. I did watch the recent episode because I wanted to watch it. So I did watch the last one.
Okay, I like it's fun. We can have a little competition, but I think the 4 women, you know, that he's brought in against the 4 women that Triple H had. I think if Sasha was still around, if it was still Sasha, we'd have that. You have a built-in Survivor Series match between the 4 women. And I think bringing Stephanie up, bringing Julia up, you're going to see more booking decisions in the direction of those women because they are, I think they're stars already. They're not NXT that they brought up. These are ready-made stars that are deserve, that you need to put them into the main rotation no matter what, right? Yeah. So if Lyra wins, Stephanie comes in and this becomes her toughest battle. If Becky wins, Stephanie comes in and you have a dream match like at either SummerSlam or Survivor Series or whatever. So
or a throwaway pay-per-view.
You have Evolution too. You have Evolution coming up.
Yeah, there's Evolution. Yeah.
There we go.
So you have
what about Lyra, Becky, and Stephanie? Triple threat.
That's what I mean. You have room for all of this to happen right now. Now that the rosters are starting to take a more refined shape, you don't have as many guys who sit in the back and don't do a whole lot. They're getting rid of that. So either one of these scenarios works, if you ask me. I would like to see either one. My pick at the end of the night, if you ask me for this match, would just be let Lyra continue on in her path, because you're just hurting her. Then what does she do? If she loses, then where do you put her? But otherwise, this match could go either way, because the end game is to get Stephanie that title. All right, man behind the glass. What do you got next?
Main event Piper? Is that main event Piper?
That's her. That's Harper and her. There she is.
Oh, Harper. I don't know why I said Piper. Main event Harper. All right.
There she is. She's just getting back from her errands. We're talking about Money in the Bank. You want to grab a chair?
Yeah.
All right. So all right. So we're going into the men's Money in the Bank, and I'm going to go reverse order. I'm going to go with Great Brown Hope's opinion on this one. And I'm going to have you start us off. LA Knight, Penta, Andrade, Solo, and Seth, and Grande Americano. Let's go with this one.
Well, first of all, LA Knight is not from LA. We don't claim him. He was nowhere to be seen yesterday in Los Angeles during the riots, but whatever. Solo Sikoa, man. Oh, my God. That man has evolved into the funniest superstar on the roster ahead of R-Truth without even trying. The guy gets professional wrestling. I love this guy so much. My wife loves that guy so much. But just to see him still matter on TV without having to, go after the Ulafala or a championship is great, man. I love it. And I think that Solo is really going to get some shine here. I want Solo to win so bad. But with Grande Americano in the equation, it's got to be Grande Americano.
I don't know how much I agree with Grande Americano winning as much fun as that would be. But I would say Solo has got to be top 2 on this list. So DC, what are your picks on this one?
For every reason he just said, Solo has to win this match. Everything he just said, he has you have to. Everything he just said, from his comedic takes, from just like yesterday on SmackDown, all gas, no brains, stuff like that. Man, oh my goodness, stuff like that. Solo is on fire right now. You got to reward him right now. And it always feels like there's one person that really doesn't need the Money in the Bank that wins on the men's or women's side, either or. And then on the other part, it's someone that has really deserved it and kind of worked their way up. So I guess if I'm going Rhea, I have to go with someone that I think deserves and needs that extra push to get either back or into the heavyweight title scene. And I think this puts Solo back in that title scene and enhances their feud with Jacob Fatu, creates some extra tension in there. So I got Solo.
I do.
Yeah, Solo
could
could challenge for the US belt.
Yeah, right. I do agree. It'll give you a little extra oomph to have Jacob in there, kind of looming large over Solo and any decision he makes to cash the title in. What if he cashed in over Jacob? There could be something there, even though I don't know if you want Solo carrying the main belt. I don't think it's necessary.
They don't need to.
No, he could be just as good with the United States title, and cause just as much havoc with that belt. So,
and you got to remember, I put an emphasis on this for a reason. These are heavyweight championships. The U.S. and Intercontinental, they're heavyweight championships. Yeah. They're not world championships, but they're heavyweight championships. So they're up there. They're main event championships.
Absolutely. You want to get.
And Solo says he's taking it all. That includes the U.S. title, man.
That's right.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it either way. You want to give your take? Who do you think's going to win?
I don't know.
Who do you want to win?
I think Penta should win.
You think Penta should win?
I don't think Seth Rollins should win, though.
No, he definitely.
Yeah, hell no.
But
Seth Rollins is boring.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't think it helps anybody if Seth Rollins wins that briefcase. I have an issue with the way if you want to present him like that, he doesn't need a briefcase. It just kind of it diminishes what he does too. I just feel like certain guys and certain things don't need those accessories. Seth doesn't need an accessory unless it's the world title, as opposed to somebody else. So
I'm gonna put this thought in your guys' head too, because I seen it this morning. So I'm forcing you guys to get this thought in your head too.
Mm-hmm.
Someone posted this morning that Roman Reigns was going to win it Brock Lesnar style.
Ew.
Ooh.
No.
Dang.
I didn't like it.
That means
I like it.
He's going to be
like it.
he's going to be a guest,
I like
entrant,
it.
and then he wins.
I like
and
it.
Everyone's No, I agree with the man behind the glass on that one. I don't like it.
The way that he beat Strowman and Bray Wyatt. He just came in at the last second, speared him and won. Yeah, I like that.
No, you don't. No, that's
Yes,
a terrible idea.
you know what? I don't like it. I love it.
Oh, no.
Both hands down.
No.
I love it. And also, I'd like to add, I cannot wait to see Solo and Bronson Reed interact in this match.
Yeah, that'd be good.
There's
Bronson Reed is Bloodline 2.0. I don't care what anybody says. He is Bloodline 2.0. So for him to leave Solo and link up with Rollins, that needs to be touched on, man. And it's going to happen tonight because it's not going to happen on SmackDown or Raw.
Yep.
Even if it's just like,
by the way, there you have a built-in Survivor Series match: Seth and Bronson and Braun versus the Bloodline. You got Cobb and Jacob and Solo. That's a sick 3-on-3 if they ever wanted to do a trios match.
I like it.
Where they all add a fourth, and then you have something crazy going on.
And a loss doesn't hurt the Bloodline, so it helps Seth, Bronson, and Braun look good.
Yeah, but I would say Solo's lost so many times that it really doesn't matter either way there either.
I know, but there's going to be something where maybe Cobb takes the pin,
And you know what? My brother made a good point about LA Knight, and I'm not doubting it that LA Knight can carry any belt for any amount of time. But I don't know another guy why does he need it? Why is it helping him? Because the end game is to be the world champ or one of the he's held the United States title. He's held a few what we're not getting anywhere. It's just not moving anybody. It's not moving the needle. That's my problem with that.
Yep.
So, but in the end, my pick would probably be it would be Solo as well. I think that's got to be the
all.
Taking it all.
Oh no, I will not take a loss. Taking it all.
Yeah.
If he wins and he can cash it in and but the one thing is if WWE if he wins, then there'd be two titles in his
in his group. Yes. Yeah. So what's wrong with that?
Taking it all.
They take it all. That everybody they win all the belts.
Yeah, but why? But what's the point of
then one gets greedy because they want the other person's belt.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got also it writes itself.
Then the group breaks up.
Yep.
What was that it? By the way, there was only 4 matches. We covered them all.
There's one. That was only 3.
Oh, I forgot about this nonsense. Okay, I forgot about this nonsense. All right. DC, let's go. It's up to you now.
This nonsense. It's pretty hard to imagine John Cena taking a loss. John Cena's not getting pinned here. I think Logan Paul has to be the one to eat the pin. It's got to be Logan Paul because none of these guys can afford to take the pin. Really.
Yeah, Logan Paul can take a million pins and still be the main event.
And it does nothing. So, for that reason alone, I'm going Jay and Cody. It's simple to me.
But all right. I don't know if this match ends in any kind of clean fashion.
I don't think it ends at all.
I think it lends itself to some kind of chicanery at the end, whether it be maybe a visit from The Rock, maybe Travis Scott comes out and does something dumb.
Travis Scott steals a briefcase.
Oh, wait a minute. Actually, Kyle is right. Could there be a cash in?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. There's no end to the match.
It's not going to be on John Cena. It's not going to be on John Cena.
It's going to be on Jey Uso.
But doesn't Gunther have a match against him Monday night on Raw? That's why I don't see it.
Yeah.
Gunther has a match against the World Heavyweight Champion.
That's right.
I don't know. Oh, that's interesting.
It just depends on who wins. It just depends on who wins. Yeah, exactly. If Seth wins the Money in the Bank briefcase, you can expect Seth to cash in tonight. You have Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker take out both Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. I mean, Logan Paul and John Cena aren't going to stop Seth from taking Jey Uso's title, and John Cena's mission is to ruin wrestling. So he just walks, or he even helps Seth beat down Jey Uso. He makes the ref count 1, 2, 3. Count it, ref! Count it!
I don't know about.
And then the ref's like, I can't do it, and he takes the shirt off the ref and puts it on himself. 1, 2, 3.
I think in the end, none of us are really winning this match. It's not for the fans. It seems like I don't get it. I don't know why you needed it. I don't know when you do a pay-per-view this style, champions like this should never. This should, if they're not in a match for the title, just they're not on the. They don't need to be on the card. Yep. Exactly. I know you're trying to sell John Cena, his last matches, but if he's not defending the title, he shouldn't be on the show. There's no reason to be on the show. I get it. Like
this feels like, remember The Rock did that interview? I think it was on Pat McAfee, and he said that they added the match at Elimination Chamber last minute to help sell tickets. That's what this feels like. This feels like they needed to just add another match and add a match to sell tickets in LA. That's what it feels like.
I feel like you don't have a card.
For 200 in the nosebleeds right now, and that's today on the last day. 200 in the nosebleeds. You know how much it costs to sit in the fourth row for Worlds Collide? $250.
That's insane.
That is insane, man. The big difference. You can sit in nosebleeds for Worlds Collide for $20, man.
Oh, I see. That's the show I would go to over.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. I would definitely not be running to Money in the Bank. I have been burned by pay-per-views from WWE before.
I really wanted to go to both. I did, but when I saw the money, I was like, you know what? It's just not worth it.
No,
it really isn't.
It's a shame. And DC, what do you hear in like your circles, like about like what people think about the ticket prices and things like that? What are you getting? Like?
I mean, I'm gonna be 100% honest. Okay, so we've talked about it on our podcast too, WrestleHolics. We've talked about it a couple of times, a couple episodes. So like for example, I'm gonna use this as an example. So we went to Backlash.
Okay,
in St. Louis, and I applied for media, which is a throw in the hat. Sometimes they approve you, sometimes they don't. It's how they feel that day. I wanted my son to go because my son has never been to a pay-per-view. So the only way to make sure that happens is to buy a ticket. I can't take him in the press box. So like he just said, tickets for Money in the Bank, nosebleeds, $200. It was the same for Backlash.
No.
It was the same. It was $250 for a nosebleed at Backlash.
They're trying to weed us out because, all their packages, they're all catered towards people with money. Like they have like cabana seating areas, so to speak, like delivery service. Like they're doing all kinds of extra things to appease to people with money. Like it's not for the wrestling fans anymore. And I get it. It's a business. Obviously, you're going to cater to people that want to go see it. Now we get a lot more famous people on TV and whatnot, and it's like, oh, this person's here, that person's here. They're promoting wrestling, whatever. Like that's fine and dandy. That's great, but you weed out the wrestling fans little by little. People like myself for today. I would have gone to both shows. Me and my wife would have gone to both shows. We would have paid harder, a lot of money for whatever we would have indulged in at both events or to get to both events and whatnot. But because it's just not worth the amount of time based on, we make X amount of money, it costs X amount of dollars to go to this. Like, it's just not worth it. Like, we're not going to have a good time.
That's why the two of us only go to indie shows. I mean, because when we do go to regular shows, it costs a fortune, and there's only two of us, and I'm still spending $500 for two tickets.
And that's what I told her too. She's like, "Are you sure you don't want to go?" I was like, "You know what? Because there's wrestling going on, we could find an indie show for $20 a ticket. We could hit 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah,
we don't even have to go to Money in the Bank. We can just go outside and hear the roars of disapproval.
You can watch it on your phone while you're outside the building.
Yeah, like Angels in the Outfield. You remember Angels in the Outfield? We're just like sitting in the trees, binoculars, trying to look.
Binoculars.
Hey, what's going on? I don't know. It looks like some guy with long hair is cashing in some briefcase.
It was like $500. It was like $500 something
for 2 tickets.
For 2.
Yeah, that's outrageous, and they're coming here, for SummerSlam, and I joke about it a lot with people who I know. Like, I went to WrestleMania 29, I think it was at MetLife, and I had the second to last seat in the entire place, and it still cost me $100, and I couldn't see. And I said, I'll never go to another stadium show ever again after that. And they got SummerSlam coming here, and I'm not going. Like, there's no possible way I could afford. I'm going to go sit for 2 nights at SummerSlam in a seat that I might not even have, a view of the ring on.
Right. Save all the money and stay home. And I think there was a comment earlier. It's exactly what it is. The TKO effect. Just like UFC. UFC fans aren't going to the UFC shows. It's the Donald Trumps.
UFC, I will tell you this. UFC has been expensive. I was going to like Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun back in the early 2000s. And even then I was like, this is outrageous. Like, like seeing Cabbage Correa and Rico Rodriguez and all these guys in UFC. And we were paying, $200 to sit in a spot. And back then, I was only like 22. I'm like, $200 for a seat. Like, that's insanity.
Yeah.
So I mean, now it's 500 for the same seat,
Yeah.
but you know, it's nuts. It's nuts what they're doing. And I think for a show like this, yeah, you have to justify the ticket prices if you don't have Cena and Cody.
If it had been SummerSlam, WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, then it's easier to be like, you know what, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
How many times is it going to be here? But if it's, Money in the Bank where you already know what's going to happen, it's 2 ladder matches and then 2 or 3 matches that aren't really going to do much for the show. Like, do we really want to be there for that where we can't even enjoy the ladder match?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So might as well save for mid-level seats for a good show.
Yep. That's a good point.
Well, I think, I could make him buy him, but he's not going either. That's
get us off seats. Let's go. Woo!
Well, Kyle's coming in. Kyle's coming in, by the way, for SummerSlam weekend, and we're going out to Keen's Chop House for mutton. So,
man.
You guys are gonna DC, you coming in for that?
No.
Oh, you're not coming in for SummerSlam?
No.
When is SummerSlam?
First weekend in August. Yeah.
Okay.
And
me and my wife got to do a vacation soon, so figure something out.
She's going to be at camp, so she's going to miss it. This is the second year in a row. Last year I was in Cleveland for it. Yeah.
You were at SummerSlam last year?
I didn't go in. I was hanging out with the AIW guys at their shows, and then they went to the show. Kevin Owens got them a suite.
Nice.
And they went, and they went and hung out in the suite for
what a nice guy.
He's a great. He never forgets the AIW.
Too.
Oh wait, DC, where are you?
I was in the 400 levels at SummerSlam last year.
Are you an Ohio guy also?
I'm Indiana. So
you're Indiana.
Right by there. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So. Speaking of SummerSlam,
you know who wouldn't do that for anybody though? Get a suite for people? Rey Mysterio. Because Rey Mysterio only cares about Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio only cares about Rey Mysterio.
I'm making that a shirt, and we're gonna put it on our merch store. I don't care what Mr. OTM says.
He is a deadbeat.
Put it on our merch shop.
Listen, DC, according to Great Brown Hope, that's more real than we think. So Rey and his T-shirts and the way he has neglected his child.
There we go. We got it. It's gonna I'm gonna design that shit tonight. And on the back, we're going to put DC's logo, J Gold's logo, and my logo. That's going to be the Mixer exclusive from today. Rey Mysterio only cares about Rey Mysterio. And if you don't buy it today, you missed out.
That's right.
Listen, I think today is a fun day. I also, by the way, I know we do this is the WWE stuff. I'm going to plug my pals over at AIW in Cleveland. They're doing a pay-per-view tonight as well. So if you have a YouTube page, if you have their YouTube subscription, they're doing a show called Bang Your Heads, and the Headbangers are headlining their show. They're in a tag match.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's wrestling on all night, and we're buying a pizza in a little bit, and ice cream. Yes, and ice cream, and we're gonna go, and we're gonna
make sure you didn't forget that ice cream.
Right. We're gonna gorge ourselves and watch wrestling literally all night, and in 40 minutes we're gonna watch Worlds Collide. Yeah. And
Jay Gold seems like the kind of guy that would forget to get the ice cream.
I would not. That's for me too. She doesn't.
But then you forget.
No, I will not forget.
You go to the liquor store, like, what am I here for? Oh, look, wrestling shirts. And then you leave, like, oh shit, the ice cream.
That's why I go to Target. That's what happens when I go to Target. I go, oh my god! I came and I bought an AEW figure, and I was supposed to buy deodorant. What was I doing?
Nice.
Yeah, every time.
Deodorant, or it's hand in hand too, because they say we don't wear deodorant. Apparently, that must be another side of the wrestling fan base.
Those are the wrestling fans that I tell you that are the worst. The ones who don't remember deodorant. The ones who ruin all the gimmicks. Yes.
Yeah.
Any wrestling fan, if you meet a guy who's down on wrestling, who's always talks shit about it, they're the ones who don't wear deodorant, and they're the ones who ruin everything.
Yep.
So
they make us look like dicks.
I saw the best poster once at Comic-Con 2 years ago. A guy had a poster that said, if you can afford the con, you can afford deodorant. So I always say, if you can afford to go to a WWE show, you definitely should you definitely should be wearing deodorant. Like, honestly, buy some and there you go. That Harper, your Uncle Sam sending ice cream.
Main event, Uncle Sam.
That's right. He'll be sending ice cream. So anyway, as we start to wrap this up, DC, what are I want Great Brown Hope, I want both of your overall thoughts of this weekend. So tell me, what you're looking, the one thing you're looking the most forward to before we get into the shows tonight.
One thing. Okay. Yeah. One thing I'm looking forward to, just the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I'm ready to see all the spots in it. I think that's going to steal the weekend. It's going to be the best match. So I don't really care who wins. That's one of the matches where I'm like, honestly, I'm cool with any of them winning. They all make sense. A lot of people would say not Rhea, but it's one of the matches where I'm like, I'm cool. Mm-hmm. I'm cool with the outcome. So that is definitely the one thing. I'm cheating. I'm cheating. I'm picking one for Money in the Bank and one for Worlds Collide because I can't just pick one. That's my one for Money in the Bank. Definitely looking forward to that match.
Give me both. What do you got for Worlds Collide?
Worlds Collide, I am really hoping Javon Evans gets his moment.
Hell yeah.
And wins the belt.
Javon Evans. Okay. I already said before you came on, I said to Great Brown Hope, I think that match is literally a vehicle to get over Ethan Page and Javon Evans. So some of them, somebody's going to win, even though I think Page will keep it. Mm-hmm. I think Javon Evans, is going to shine. So Great Brown Hope, you're immortal. Yeah, give me your two pieces that you're most looking forward to.
Oh man, I just for Worlds Collide, it's gonna be nice to see Latino talent get a lot of shine without an emphasis on Rey Mysterio. It comes to show that the Latino market can do just fine. We've got plenty of Latino talent in this event, and I really look forward to Legado and Cruz del Toro gaining a lot of shine tonight for Money in the Bank. I just want to see Solo do something, man. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing Solo get some shine. The emphasis has been on Jacob a lot. So it'll be good to see Solo Sikoa do his thing.
All right, and I will say for Worlds Collide, and we'll get more than one pizza. We don't, just two of us. What are we gonna do? Anyway, that's why I love the live comments. Everybody just comes on here and shit talks. Anyway,
yeah, go for it. That's what we're here for. That's what they're here for.
I love it.
You're watching.
Yep.
It just shows they're paying attention. So it's all crazy.
I love it. And so I would think from Worlds Collide, and you might think this is strange. I cannot wait to see Dr. Wagner Jr.'s son, and I can't wait to see Pagano and Psycho Clown, because I have no idea how Psycho Clown is going to fit in the WWE world that they're building. I don't know where he fits, and I love it. I can't wait. I hope that he does something really stupid.
This is going to be insane, man.
And then I think on the Money in the Bank, I'm with you, DC. Women's Money in the Bank is going to slam and be awesome. And those are, and I said it to Great Brown Hope before, DC, you may or may not agree with me. Stephanie Vaquer is the best women's wrestler on the planet right now.
No,
on the planet.
Not.
Who is it?
Bianca.
Oh, damn.
Oh, right, Bianca.
I'm sorry. Bianca, damn. She is the EST.
Tell him.
She is the EST.
She loves her, and I'm not going to knock it, but
I got to meet her.
I know you did. Well, they didn't know. You're talking to them. Okay. I thought she was directing it back at me. I know. Anyway, I do think Stephanie Vaquer, we can disagree, but I think Stephanie Vaquer is the entire package of what the future of women's wrestling is going to be. Thank you. But
Jacob will not put anybody over, huh? He's like, give me the mic back.
Yeah, but those are the two things I think I'm really giddy for. And I think, you know what? So I'll tell you, we're going to find out where they're going real fast with that Money in the Bank. What's more important? Because I think whichever Money in the Bank leads off is going to feel secondary. I think so. If the men lead off the show, you're going to see that they're going to put all their eggs in whoever's winning that women's Money in the Bank for that storyline. And I do think the men might be a little bit lower because you do have John Cena still as the champ looming for that entire time. But let's see. I mean, I hope the women's match is second and we get like a monster banger out of them. So, yeah.
Someone's getting put through a ladder.
Who goes through the ladder, by the way? Who's doing the ladder spot going through? Which woman?
Roxanne gets put through a ladder.
I was going to say Roxanne or Julia.
Really?
Who?
Roxanne or Julia is going through the ladder.
You got to go with the flexibility. You got to be able to bend at the right angle for the ladder to break. So
she thinks Roxanne also. Yeah. I think
Rhea Ripley's going to put Roxanne to that ladder because Roxanne will make it look really devastating. She knows how to sell, and she'll just lay it all dead and shit.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
Judgment Day, so.
Yeah, I just don't think you could do it to Rhea because she's had that history of concussions. Yeah, and I think you don't want to. I mean, I bet you Stephanie would say yes to it. I'd make you $1,000 bet. She'd be like, "Yeah, I'll go right ahead." But I don't think you're going to see her do that.
No, she's her prize investment right now.
Yeah,
so they can't afford her to get hurt.
Yeah,
that's why I'm surprised she's in this match. To be honest, like She's been overbooked. They've overbooked the hell out of her the last couple of weeks. So
you didn't think it was weird, by the way, both of you guys, that Stephanie loses the title to JC Jane. There's no follow-up, and she goes right to Raw the very next. Like, that's the weirdest call-up. It was the weirdest call-up, though, I've ever seen. Like, she lost. Yeah. Now she's here.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get me started, and we're gonna end up going too long. There's so many problems. There's so many problems with that outcome. Look, I don't even wanna...
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Shayna Baszler lost the War Games match. The next night, she beat Becky Lynch and Bayley. And then a week later, she lost the belt, and then she was in the Rumble at number 30. No explanation. She put over Rhea Ripley, and she was in the Rumble at number 30. And then she dominated the Elimination Chamber.
That's
you know what I'm saying? So it's happened before. When they want to move their stars up, eventually, okay, just drop the belt, we'll move on. Like, no one's gonna care.
Well, the same thing happened with Julia. It was out of nowhere. But I also, and I've said it too, they did her dirty, like the way they introduced her and then had her lose her first match. Like, that was just the wrongest of all, all the stuff. When they bring her in, she's red hot. They don't give her a chance to kind of get her feet under her. They give her no squashes, no enhancement. And then she loses to Roxanne Perez. And then she won like a month later? Like, it was so stupidly done. Just save the match. But, there's no one else to blame in those but Shawn Michaels and Triple H. So
it's to get the wheels going. Like, it's just like you said, they're TV ready stars. Like, they're not in NXT to develop. They're in NXT to learn where the cameras are.
Like Ricky Saints, Ethan Page. Those guys are ready. That's why I like when those two guys wrestle each other, because I say to Kyle, I'm like, that's the TV ready match every week.
Exactly.
It could be mid card, main event, opening, any show you do, those two guys could do it. So I don't know. I think I think
and we make wrestling fans happy. People that want to watch wrestling, we make them happy.
And that's what we do here, right? We make people happy with
all our
nonsense. Man. So as we we're getting to the bottom of the hour, as they say in radio. So I want us to just make sure you follow Main Event Network on all the socials. Make sure you follow, go on and subscribe. We're almost at 200 subscribers. Make sure you check out all of the other members of the Main Event Network, On the Mark, Wrestle Junkies, and Great Brown Hope and his blog World Order, Paperclip Mike, and Tino Time. DC, I'm going to give you a chance now to do your plugs. Plug away. Do everything you want.
Okay. Just follow me on Twitter. I'm at DC Hendricks, Instagram official DC Hendricks. I do some things for WrestleHolics. That's my podcast I do with a couple buddies of mine called the WrestleHolics Podcast, that broadcast on 1380 The Fan, a Fox Sports station in Indiana. And bodyslam.net. As we said earlier, I do a Tuesday night NXT post show every night on Bodyslam as well. And just keep up with everything. We got a lot of stuff in the works, so keep up.
Yeah, and if you like DC's show, watch it and then watch ours right after. Or if you want to do it the reverse ways, watch ours live and then watch his right after. But we are not rivals. We are.
Fuck that. Watch both at the same time.
Right. Put them up at the same time. We are colleagues, and we do the same. We do the same type of content, but it's still all good. There's plenty of room for wrestling content, especially positive wrestling content. And Great Brown Hope, go ahead, give your socials.
Oh, well, you guys can catch me on Twitter at the Great Brown Hope. We had it right there. On Instagram, I'm at LOKO, the number 4, Lucha. I just dropped a couple blogs. I know you guys know about 100 people versus 1 gorilla. I just dropped a blog, 5 wrestlers versus 5 gorillas, Survivor Series style. Check that out. I just dropped an epic piece on Gavin Dance's End of an Era. And I want to give a thank you to Main Event Wrestling Network because they let me put out whatever I want, whenever I want. They support it, and we support each other. We take care of each other. So for that, I say thank you. So everybody check out my stuff. I got a couple blogs coming out. I got another chapter of Legacy of the Ghost. We're going to be doing a chapter on Angel Garza, so you guys can get a little bit of his history. I've got another invitation to the Carne Asada. We're going to be seeing who's next to get an invitation to come hang out with the Great Brown Hope at the Carne Asada. And a couple more 5x5s. So you can expect me to get a couple guests on my new show, TGBH with TGBH, which we premiered at the 24-hour Wrestling Network live stream. So we'll get some more of that. I got a couple guests lined up. Other than that, it's just make sure you follow us on all our socials on Main Event Wrestling Network. Check out IW Guide.
Yeah.
Got my boy DC Hendricks. So we're all here for the same purpose. Let's get together and talk wrestling, guys.
Yeah, and you can find me over on Twitter at jgold12, on the Instagram at jgold12, and IW Guide 1. That's our Thursday show that I'm involved with. The Indie Wrestling Guide. If you want to hear all things indie wrestling, we review shows, we interview wrestlers. We constantly are getting new talent on and going through that with them. And then my Tuesday night show, the NXT Night Shift with On the Mark, with Mr. On the Mark, Mr. OTM Kyle, the man behind the glass today. And otherwise, check out the Main Event Network. It is great. Everybody who's on the network gets to do their own form of this, and it's awesome. And there's so many personalities. DC, I can't tell you how excited I was to hear that you were coming on today, and how happy I am that we got a chance to do a little bit of time together. I hope we can do anything you want, anytime, and Great Brown Hope and I love working with him. So anything you guys want to do, let's get it together. DC, just throw it out there. We'll take care of it, and we'll make it happen. So
let's do it.
Yeah, and I think this is the first time we had somebody on like outside the network in the mixer, huh?
Yeah,
this was fun. This was good. This is like a nice little mix-up. So I think
I think we should have DC on more often. Give him more than 45 minutes next time. I think we'll just have him start us off. Hell yeah,
I'm down.
It is a Forbidden Door. There you go.
Yeah. So all right. So guys, thanks so much. Enjoy Worlds Collide. Enjoy Money in the Bank. Enjoy AIW tonight. Enjoy all the stuff that's on. If anybody is wants to talk, we'll be on all the socials. But we will see you all tonight for the triple header, the double header of all wrestling that is, this world. So see you then.